Welcome to the Political Matrix News. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the political matrix. Hey, it's the Political Matrix News. Once again, sports fans, Rob Milford, Greg Fink, Scott Miller, we are all over the state of Florida, and there is only one thing we want to talk about. What the hell happened in Palm Beach, actually technically West Palm Beach, on Sunday afternoon? We all know that there was a goober in the fence line at the Trump National Golf Course, and he'd been staking that out for almost 12 hours.
Yeah.
And supposedly a Secret Service agent noticed a rifle barrel through a fence.
Right.
At what range, we don't know. And got on the radio, called the one word that gets the Secret Service off their ass and makes them do something, and that word is gun. And they don't care where that call comes from. They immediately grabbed the president. A Suburban pulled on to the golf course that was probably not that far away. They grabbed him, threw him in the armored Suburban, and that one Secret Service agent and maybe one or two others came over and shot up where that rifle was hanging through the fence. And that's the summation of everything.
They say he was like around 400 yards away from where the hole was. And
that's okay. That's a long. First off, that's a long shot for an AK-47.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, a lot of people were saying it was a very good, easy shot for an AK-47, but I was looking up AK-47s and they said the range is like around 370 yards.
Well, the range. The accurate range is 370 yards. The effective range of a 7.62 by 39 cartridge is well out to 1,000.
Really?
Well, but you got to get it there, and you got to be well trained in that rifle and with that scope. And there's a lot of ifs, ands, and the other things. Is it going to kill somebody at 1,000 yards? Probably not. But at 300, 400 yards, you're going to do some serious damage.
Yeah.
And when you've got a 30,
you got a 20 dropping the ball.
Well, that's a really good question. Now, here's a guy who is a house painter and a roofer from North Carolina. Greg, what's the last count you had on how many criminal charges have had his name on it over the years?
They say he has had over 100 plus criminal charges. Most of them, I mean, basically a lot of misdemeanors, but quite a few felonies. And in fact, last time, I guess in North Carolina, he was barricaded in a building with a M16 in North Carolina, and so he has issues here with guns and weaponry, and it looks like what they're talking about right now is the charges they're looking at is weapons charges because he's a felon, and basically possibly assault on a law enforcement officer, a federal law enforcement officer, because he is fighting him whenever or ran away or whatever, or trying to arrest him. I don't know. The arrest I saw, he looked pretty peaceful. He had his shirt over his head, and he was walking backward with his hands up. But
that's to show them you don't have a gun or a knife in your belt.
Exactly.
Once he was handcuffed,
it's gonna be. There's a lot of people on the other side who are saying, "Well, he never got a shot off," and so everybody should be happy. I'm like, no. We all are familiar with Pensacola and the golf courses in Pensacola very well, and they have the main highway right that goes adjacent to it. Pensacola Country Club,
right,
the one that was Branca's Highway. Whenever George Bush or Dan Quayle or any of those guys would go there back in the '90s, you have Secret Service every 50 feet, everything else, making sure there's nobody on the fence line.
They played on the base. Very secure. They played on the base because that's secure.
Well, exactly. Usually they played on the base if they did, but if they were at a fundraiser or anywhere else in Pensacola, or something like that, where they had any kind of fence line like that, it would have been secure.
Yeah, let's close the road. Let's close the road while he is in easy view of the road. And that's which hurricane? I guess it was. I guess it was Ivan, which, by the way, we just passed the 20-year anniversary.
Right.
Yikes. But Ivan thinned out the trees there on Barrancas, and then they came back not that long ago. I'm thinking 9 or 10, maybe 11, where they did some serious tree surgery and created a lot more sunlight on the golf course at Barrancas. But that's another story.
I remember one time in 1991, George Bush came to eat at Scopolo's, which used to be a really big seafood restaurant. I was in Kaiway, and they had to close the road off, pretty much, basically a half mile on both sides of the restaurant. They closed everything off and had everybody redirected. I mean, that's just the way it's supposed to be.
Well,
and you know what else?
That's the way it's supposed to be. But I will say this: if they did nothing in the world but just erect a screen, there was an opaque screen that made it so you couldn't see from the highway, and just pull the screen away from the fence, so you had to cross the fence to get to the screen and do anything.
Or a drone.
Well, all I'm saying is if they only put some screen panels up there, it would be, orders of magnitude better than it is right now.
Yeah. All right. So here's the real question. Obviously, Greg, with the 100, let's just go 100 plus charges. I don't know what the felony count is. I know there were a couple of other weapons charges in North Carolina. He is effectively underemployed, $300 in his bank account, lives in Honolulu, and yet he flies back to the mainland, has a vehicle, drives down to Palm Beach from North Carolina. That all takes money.
As a payroll.
So who's toting the note? Then you come on to the most serious question of all. The golf match on midday Sunday. I think they teed off at noon, I think. And the president and his buddy and Sean Hannity went on for quite a bit on Monday saying, I had breakfast with these guys and they said, come on and play golf. He went, no, I gotta get back home. So he's driving across the state on Alligator Alley or whatever to get back to Fort Myers.
Right.
And the phone rings and it's the president, or maybe it's one of the sons, saying, yeah, they took some shots at dad. And he probably almost did ditch diving at that point. How did the shooter know that Trump was on the golf course? How did he know? And he was staked out there at midnight the night before, 12 hours, let's say 1 o'clock. Okay, we're plus or minus 15, 30 minutes. The cell phone pinging put him right in that position since 1 o'clock in the morning. The shots were fired between 1 and 1:30 Sunday. Who talked about Trump being on that golf course?
There's a leak somewhere.
Sports fans, that's a hell of a leak. Is that from somebody at the golf course who heard, oh, well, the president's coming to play golf again tomorrow. He could have played any particular part. I think it's what is it 18 or 27 holes. They got a lot of territory there, and they may have 36 holes. I don't know, but it could have been any part of the golf course. You don't necessarily have to go 1 through 6. How did he know to stake that out? And the other point is, if he knew what he was doing as a shooter, he would have kept those ceramic plates, which is what you wear on your body armor. He would have kept those low, and he would have not put the rifle through the fence before the president got there. That's it.
I don't know why you put it through the fence. I don't know why you put it through the fence for to begin with. A reasonable shooter wouldn't have to put that thing through. I wouldn't put the barrel of the gun through the fence, only because it restricts my movement, and I might not be able to move as fast as I need to move to acquire the target. So I don't know what this cat was thinking. I'm with you, Rob. I don't think he was very well trained. I think he's an amateur, doing whatever. But he's, you just got to wonder. The logistical part of this, as you guys are talking about, I could see him being able to have a way to know if he's going to spend like a month or so in Orlando or near where the president, near Mar-a-Lago, then he could probably figure out, over that time when Trump's going to be there, because Trump does regularly go back to his home. But, how does he have the resources to do that? How does he have the money? Like you said, a man with $300 in the bank. Exactly. How does he have the resources to take off a whole bunch of time and go camp out and wait for his target of opportunity?
Where was he staying on Friday night? When did he drive around? Where did he stay Friday night, Thursday night? Where was he going to go Sunday night? And had it not been for that one curious citizen who was dog walking or something, or was driving by, heard the gunfire, saw somebody run out of the weeds, click, 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 takes a picture and calls 911, said, I got a picture of the guy you all were shooting at. Maybe not knowing the president was on, that's who the target was. He just heard gunfire. What the hell's going on? Boom, 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 boom. Guy runs across the street. Here's the other question. How the hell did he park on a street overnight in West Palm Beach? And on Palm Beach proper, that would never the hell happen. West Palm Beach, I'm like, they didn't give the guy a ticket. He's parked there overnight.
Right.
That's really not very far from the jail. Palm Beach County Jail is right there. And they can see from the jail the golf course, and they harass and yell at golfers while they're on the golf course. It's just one of those funny things. In fact, Rod DeSantis was on, I believe he was on Fox, maybe News Nation, on Sunday night, and talked. He said, I played with the president there. Great golf course. What the hell?
Questions. And I think he's looking at bringing state charges. I think he's looking at bringing possibly attempted murder charges and he's going to do a full investigation on the state level and to see what he can add on to the federal side.
I'll tell you why I'm excited about that, and that's because I don't think we're going to have any trouble getting information from this investigation.
No.
Unlike the feds, I think DeSantis will readily share information. Like one of the most intriguing data points in the Crooks investigation was the fact that the geofencing database that we actually use for some of our advertising campaigns. Someone queried that database and looked to see where everyone in Dylan Roof's house had gone, and they found that someone had come from D.C. regularly to Dylan Roof's house, and the office they were at in D.C. was a couple of doors down from the FBI. So I wonder what we're going to find out with this guy, and I'll bet you $1 that if Ron DeSantis finds out something like this, if the FDLE finds this out, they will share it.
Right.
You better hope so. It'll do a lot for Ron's credibility in his run for president in 2028. I don't think at this point in time that J.D. Vance, what I've seen of J.D., I'm thinking he's probably an okay choice for vice president, but that's about where I am on him.
That's what you're supposed to do for vice president, so someone can compliment you without competing with you.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't
for prime time yet.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But again, the logistics, the money, and the leak.
Yeah.
Who
and at the same time, we have P. Diddy right around the corner. P. Diddy this and P. Diddy that.
But I want to talk
from Diddy.
I want to talk about the discourse, all of the hate that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are espousing on a daily basis, and everybody is they've got to tone down the rhetoric, this political hate speech. I haven't heard a single damn word from Donald Trump or J.D. Vance about hate speech. I have not. I don't know. I got to be fair.
Okay.
I probably pay more attention to the idiot things that Kamala says, and I ignore Tim almost entirely. But it's all the other loudmouths. Don Lemon gets to go back on CNN after they canned his ass, and he says something. I don't want to refer to Joy Reid at MSNBC because the woman, look at the viewership numbers. Yeah, look at the viewership numbers. She somehow has a way to irritate people. I think she's there as the lightning rod to say outrageous shit, and then everybody reacts to it. The fact is, when you look at her numbers, any morning radio show in any city of any size has more listeners in 4 hours than she has viewers in her hour of prime time. And I don't think she's relevant in the least, unless she is another sorority sister of Kamala Harris, which is probably a pretty good shot. You're laughing, and I'm being serious as I can be.
Well,
I believe
I
this
will say
is.
one thing,
Yes,
and
and I don't disagree with you.
the only hateful thing I hear Trump really saying is that she's a Marxist, and that's pretty much about it.
That's the
Everything
truth,
else,
isn't it?
well, it's partially most likely true, yes.
Okay.
And so I mean, in all reality, it is true. But I mean, he's not a Hitler, he's not Stalin, he's not a murderer, he's not a dictator. I mean, all this crap they give to him is ridiculous.
I don't think she has any serious core philosophy to begin with. I think that she has a market that she's used to appealing with, and she knows how to work within that, and she knows how to issue talking points that people will give her a pat on the back for, which generally revolve around being a victim of some sort.
In fact, today when she talked to the black journalists, I think a lot of them were frustrated that she just basically expanded her debate answer just with a few more sentences.
About that much.
Exactly. She did not get any details. I mean, this whole opportunity economy. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we understand opportunity zones and CRAs and all this stuff that's created for low-income areas and stuff like
waiting.
that.
I'm waiting for midnight basketball to finally take off, okay? That's what I'm waiting on. No Gotti, all gone.
We got it around the corner here in Gainesville.
Oh, okay. So. Good to know.
It's fun to watch.
Well, I'm visualizing Greg at midnight at a basketball court watching the kids shoot hoops.
Yeah.
And I'm just visualizing that. I guess you were the point guard in your younger days?
Watching.
Got it.
Watching.
Got it. Okay.
Hey, I also lost the 30 pounds, okay, so give me a break.
All right. 30 down and another
100 more to go.
100 more to go. Hey, we want to first off thank you for watching, and we're pursuing, as we say on a regular basis, pursuing other ways to get this program out and about across all of North America and for pretty much the World Wide Web. It's amazing how much bias and prejudice there is on an editorial level when it comes to political talk, and we are at the blunt end of all of that. So we appreciate the watch. Really would like a share and certainly a subscription. I promise we're not going to sell the list. No. Even if they offer us like a lot of money, like, $1 a name or whatever, we're not going to crack for you. No. But I did want to show this, and let's see if we get it up here. This is a 32-ounce tumbler, one of those kind of Arctic Yeti kind of solid steel, plastic top. It's got a straw, rubber base down here.
Right.
I put ice in this on last Wednesday when we did the last show, and I poured out the water on Saturday. It still had a couple little pieces of ice. This is available for $29.95 here at the Political Matrix. Just go to our website, thepoliticalmatrix.com, and order one.
Actually, we have a new site.
You guys, I'll give you a better price, Scott. I'll give Greg can pay regular price. How about that?
That'll be good. But just real quick on the website, it's politicalmatrixnews.com.
Thank you. I apologize for screwing that up.
That's okay. No, you're fine. And we are updating websites right now. We're updating all the information and everything. And so, and like you said about being suppressed, we got another notification today from Google about how we have to adjust our speech in order to get access for Google to inspire our ads for our publication and other shows, other networks.
What speech are we changing? We have to shut Scott
up? It didn't really say. It just said basically we need to adjust our political behavior.
Well, I will tell you that there are a number of I watch a lot of YouTube. And some of the larger channels that I watch, based on what I see from there, a lot of the things that we're saying, things that refer to guns in any way, is one of the things that will deplatform you. I mean, there's all manner of things that there's a whole list of
there's a very large
secret words you're not supposed to say. That's why people, instead of saying gun, they'll say pew pew or something like that. All manner of code words that have evolved.
We're not complying with that.
We discussed a news story in context. That's it.
Exactly.
You shoot, I shoot. Greg's been shot at. So
we're not complying with the Google's. I guess it would say Nazistic a view of free speech or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
And so you guys, whenever y'all watch us, you get the real damn thing, and we're gonna have fun saying the real stuff, and not
Well,
complying with
how about
any
if
kind
if
of
they drop us an
bullshit.
email? How about if they drop us an email, we'll just email the shows to them. How about that?
That's right. Yeah, we can do it to them as well. If you guys want to
Okay.
subscribe, any way you want to subscribe, we're also on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're going to be on Spotify here soon, and more or less we need
Fingers
to get
crossed.
some people here to help on getting everything here loaded up and everything. But it's just stick in there with us, guys. It's going to be a very fun election cycle.
News bulletin from Fox News: a stadium-sized asteroid is moving close to Earth. So if the stadium-sized asteroid shows up, everything we're talking about don't matter. And that's anybody remember the old? Everybody remember that? I'm serious. End of the world. How it was covered by newspapers. This goes back a few years, and so USA Today, the headline would be, "We're gone." New York Times, stadium-sized asteroid colliding with Earth, impact on Wall Street unknown. And the Washington Post, large stadium-sized asteroid about to hit Earth the way the congressional elections this fall. Something on that respect.
Whatever it is, it will be Trump's fault.
Yeah.
On that happy note, thank you for joining us on the Political Matrix News.